How was Ashya?
We had a really great flight. They really looked after us. That we couldn't ask for more. We're just so happy to be here, to be honest with you. That 1 month in trying to get here, pleading with the doctors, researching day and night to try and prove that Proton is the best way to treat my son. At the end, I couldn't convince them, so we had to go, spent time in the prisons, spent time in the prison cells, spent time hearing threats, we're murderers and what have you. But eventually we made it. That's the main thing. We managed to get it all sorted out and come here and be at the Proton Center. This is what we wanted from the beginning.
You must have had times when you were in custody
thinking
this day would never come.
Yeah, because things went from bad to worse at one stage. That we just came down to sell my house. The buyer was, in Spain they have notaries. You have to go to this notary to sign. My buyer and my solicitor were in the notary, ready for me. I go to the house, there's police outside. I said, we got to go, I don't know what's happening, but we can't be in this house. I have to look to see what's happening. And then that's why we got so confused, so panicky. We went to a seaside hotel. They spotted who we were. We got arrested. And it just got worse and worse as days went by. We thought, there's no way. They took our son away from us, from Ashya. Nobody was allowed to see him. It's not just us being in prison, but when a little boy who's got cancer, that he needs his parents. He doesn't know what's going on. So we were worrying so much. My wife, I asked to move cells. Yeah, it got so bad. My wife, they separated us, and I was in one cell, and my wife was next to me. But she was crying, Ashya, Ashya, Ashya. I'm in prison. I can't help my wife. I can't help my child. I wanted to ask them, can I move cell? My heart now is about to stop. It got so bad. And if it wasn't this gentleman coming to our... first of all, the British people who realised that there's perhaps an injustice going on here, who really helped to move things along. I never seen it before from grassroots, that people helping, their fellow people. It's great. And then we got in contact with a solicitor who's done everything. He sleeps with us, he's with us 24 hours. He's come here today, just make sure there's no further problems.
And tell us about Ashya. This is all about Ashya. All the people are plugged into Ashya. How is he going to stand up to the treatment?
When we first saw him, he was a little bit depressed because he's confused. But he's got so much more strength, he's moving his legs. He hasn't got absolute control over everything, but it's a little bit still a bit floppy in his limbs, but he's moving his limbs. He's catching on to our jokes. We're sure he can see us. He definitely can hear us. He's aware of what's going on around him. So he's building up his strength now, because the treatment that he's going to face is still a little bit hard for him. He's still in a weak state, but we've still got a few days to help him, and I'm sure they're going to give him the best treatment, but not so strong it knocks him down, so we just hope for the best for him.
And is he going to have chemotherapy and the proton treatment?
We don't know at the moment, because they've got to assess him. He's been assessed in England. They've got to reassess him here to see exactly what he needs. So we just want the best for Ashya. He's got to get through all this. He's got to get better. So whatever the doctors say, we go along with it. But we always said, Proton, these radiation that most people have to have, it's no good. Pass through, kills good tissue. We didn't want him, if he's going to survive, we want to make sure he survives in the best form possible. Not surviving and he's got problems all his life. He's going back with secondary tumours, or he's got problems with his sight. If he's going to survive, we want him to survive as best as he can. And we realised early on from research, it's the future, Proton. It's all throughout America. They're building in England. They're building loads of these Proton centres now. It's the future. People don't want to have healthy tissue, especially in the brain, damaged or destroyed. It doesn't make sense.
This is not the time for the blame game, clearly. But who do you think is responsible for it taking you so long and having to overcome so many hurdles to get here?
It's difficult to say, because the police, I understand the police that did it in the interest of Ashya. That's the thing. Someone was feeding them that information. The police didn't go to the hospital, I don't think, and check out all the stories. They just depended upon certain sources feeding them that information. So the information from them to this police there's something not right there. You know, that they knew. I've got letters from the hospital saying, you know, they're going to help us move him to another country. They knew I was going to pay. They knew I was going to sell my house. They knew the facts. So they then pretended, well, I don't really want to go down the road, but there is something down the chain before it got to the police that wasn't exactly how the facts were. You know, it was made perhaps a bit bigger than what it should have been. Because the story was, parents have gone to another hospital to get better treatment for their son. You know, if that was the case, then we wouldn't be talking now. But someone has said things to make it seem bigger than what it really is, you know. And that's the thing I'm sad, because the only loser really is my son. We're delayed in his treatment. Okay. I've got to go
you've been dragged away by a lawyer.
But I thank
nice
you
to meet you.
for your time.
Good luck.
Thank you.
And
Thank you very
good luck
much
for Ashya.
for your support.